Welcome to the Grants Portal Applicant Basics webinar presented by the Public Assistance Training section. Today's presentation will provide first-time Grants Portal account holders a walkthrough of how to register new accounts, as well as demonstrate for existing account holders how to move forward with submitting a request for public assistance. This webinar will last approximately 60 minutes. The presentation is geared towards brand new Grants Portal users. However, it can also be used as a refresher for anyone who may have worked in the system previously but wants a quick look at anything that may have recently changed. Specifically on the agenda, we're going to start with support options, registering a new organization, submitting a request for public assistance, managing user accounts, Grants Portal basic navigation, and in the end, we're going to come full circle back to those support options so that you always have a place to go for future questions. So let's get started. We want you to know that there is technical support available by calling our Grants Manager Grants Portal hotline at 1-866-337-8448. Our national line hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and our Puerto Rico line hours of operation are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Atlantic Time, Monday through Friday. For specific policy and eligibility questions, we recommend you first contact your state, tribal, or territorial emergency management agency. Below is a link to find contact information for many of those emergency management agencies. We will also provide this link at the end of the webinar for you to copy and paste from the chat. A quick but important disclaimer. Enhancements to Grants Manager Grants Portal are made on a regular basis in response to user-provided feedback. So while we do our best to demonstrate the most current features in these webinars, some features that you see here today may vary slightly from what you see when you go in the live system. If you want more information about the latest technical updates to the system, you can click on your profile, look for the drop-down, and then click on Release Notes to read about the latest changes to the system. We're going to get started looking at the Grants Portal website. This URL is https://grantee.fema.gov. This will bring you to an initial login screen. There is always help available before or after you log in. So, on that initial login screen, you will see a question mark in the top right. If you select that question mark or click on the help icon, you will immediately see that same phone number, 866-337-8448, and the hotline email address available to you the entire time that you're working in the system. So as long as their hours are open, you can email them, call them with any technical questions in order to help you move your grant through its process in the system. So a quick note before we get started. If you have previously worked in Grants Portal, then you would already have a registered account. You would already have a username and a password, and you can just go ahead and log in. If you are a first-time Grants Portal user, there are two ways to register your organization's account. And this is going to vary slightly based on your state, tribe, or territory. Okay, so there are a couple different ways that you can come into the Grants Portal system. If you have previously worked with FEMA in Grants Portal, then your organization is already registered in the system. If your organization is brand new to accessing Grants Portal, then a representative from your organization will need to first register in Grants Portal before they can submit a request for public assistance. There are two ways to register your organization for the first time. One is via a direct registration link at our initial login page, and the second is to be invited by your state, tribe, or territory. Usually it comes via email. So we're going to talk first to those who are brand new users who have not received any kind of email invitation to sign up and want to get registered in the FEMA grants portal system. So coming back to this initial URL of grantee.fema.gov, when you bring up this web page, you will see a sign-in area with a small blue link underneath, which says register your government organization for public assistance. You are going to click that tiny little link underneath the sign-in button because we don't yet have a username or password. So you're going to click that link to start to register your organization. You will receive a pop-up screen which will welcome you to the FEMA Grants Portal registration. In this pop-up screen, you will see a couple useful links, and it also will inform you that if you're a local, state, or PNP organization, that you'll have 1 hour to complete this registration process. After that 1 hour, the system may time you out for inactivity. For additional information, we do provide an applicant quick guide to grants portal account creation and requests for public assistance. There is a link that you can access some reference materials. Additionally, we have information for private nonprofits and any sorts of documentation which may be necessary as they go through the grants portal registration process. We have a note for individuals who may be looking for individual assistance and where to go to find that, as this is a public assistance website. We have some information about businesses looking for small business administration assistance and how to access the SBA website. And we also have information specific to tribal government organizations who are applying as a recipient to reach out to their FEMA regional representative. And there's a link there to confirm and find that information. So click to confirm that you are not a robot. You may be asked to identify some items in a photograph and click to proceed. You are now taken to a page with 5 tabs of information that we will be requesting from you or your organization. And you'll need to provide the following basic information to submit this request for registration. So the first information is just overall about your organization. We're asking you, which state, tribe, or territory is your organization? There will be a drop-down menu that you can walk through and select which is appropriate. We will ask for the organization name. We will ask for the organization type. We will ask for the EIN, or the Employer Identification Number. We will also ask for a DUNS number. And you need all of this information in order to get started. If you'll notice, there are asterisks next to each one of those prompts. Anytime you see an asterisk in the system, that means that information is required before you can move on. So if you see an asterisk, please provide that information in order to complete your application. You can also click on any of the question marks highlighted in blue circles for additional information about the information being requested. So just hover over those question marks for a little bit more information. The next tab will be contact information. We will ask for the primary contact information for this organization, and we will also ask for alternate contact information to provide a secondary point of contact. Click Next when you are completed. The next tab requests some information about your organization's primary physical location as well as a mailing address if different than your primary address. So please provide your address, city, state, zip code, county, and when ready, click Next. The next tab you will see is the RPA tab. RPA stands for Request for Public Assistance. So on this tab, the system is going to be asking you to verify whether or not you would like to request public assistance. And you can click between the toggles, yes or no. If you're not ready at this time, you can select no. If you are, you can go ahead and select yes. The next drop-down, the system will ask you which disaster would you like to request public assistance for? And you will find a complete drop down of disasters in the nation, and you can select under which disaster you are applying for public assistance. So that may be related to your state, tribe, etc. Click through the drop-down menu to find more information. You will also see a small tab underneath that drop-down which says View FEMA's Emergency Disaster Information. That is going to take you to an additional page which I will show you right after this screen. It's going to give you a little bit further information about your specific disaster. Lastly, you can enter any additional information in the text box below, provide a brief narrative describing why your organization is requesting public assistance. You'll see that this is optional. There is no asterisk, so it's not mandatory. When you are ready to proceed, you can click the Next button. Before we go next, I want you to see this FEMA.gov page, which we are linking to in the system. So as a quick preview, this is FEMA.gov and specific disaster information page. And each disaster will have its own web page based off of this FEMA.gov website. So it's a great information retrieval area, and it's a wonderful resource site for you to go and find additional information about your specific disaster, including the incident period, when the incident started, and if there is an end date. Some are continuing on with no particular end date at this point. When the declaration was declared. For this particular one, it looks like it was declared on March 13th. There's also additional links, and you can expand for further sections to find further information. Okay, now that you have reviewed all of the information that you have provided, organizational info, contact info, locations, request for public assistance, you are ready to scroll down, review, and submit your registration. Please read all the fine print and click to submit your organizational registration. And congratulations! You have now registered an account and submitted a request for public assistance. Once this request is approved by your state, tribal, or territorial agency and FEMA, you will receive a username and password for this site. If you are a PNP or a private nonprofit organization, the process is going to be basically identical to what you just saw. The only difference is you are not going to have the Request for Public Assistance tab at the top of your registration screen. So for PNPs specifically, this is giving you a quick view of what you will see specifically. Same prompts. We need your basic organizational information. We need your organization type, name, EIN number, DUNS number. Click Next. We will need all of the PNP's primary and alternate contact information. Anything marked with an asterisk is required in order to proceed. The alternate contact information is not required currently and can be added after the registration is complete. We will need to know the primary location and the mailing address if different from the primary address. And you will have the opportunity to review all of your information, scroll down, and submit your organization registration. And congratulations! You will see a congratulations screen much like this one, except it will let you know that your organization's registration has been successfully submitted for review. Okay, we are going to talk a little bit about what happens once your request to create an account is approved. You should receive an email, we can call it the access email, where you will receive a username and a temporary password after submitting your registration. So you'll receive an email. It may not look exactly like this, but something to this effect with a username, a temporary password, and a URL, grantee.fema.gov, to go ahead and sign in with your temporary password to go ahead and get started. Now we're going to actually start creating an account. You'll be walked through a welcome wizard. The welcome wizard is going to ask you a few questions to get your account officially set up. Go ahead and click Next to walk through these tabs. You will be provided a username. You'll be asked to change your password. So you just used a temporary password which was assigned to you by the system. Now it's your turn to create your own unique password, which must be at least 15 characters long. The password tips below say the longer the better. And you must include uppercase and lowercase characters, numbers, punctuation marks, and symbols. The greater the variety, the more secure. So once you've established your password, click Next. Next, the system will prompt you for a security question. So please go ahead and fill out your security question and answer with at least 5 characters in your response. Click Next, and we will be at the review screen to review and finalize and submit your account information. Congratulations, your account has been activated. Use the button below to continue. So you're going to click Return to Login screen, and you're going to go back in, enter your username, and enter the new password that you just created to log in and claim your account. You will be presented a brief privacy notice, which you should read and accept. You will also be provided a quick attention notice, which we also suggest you read and click Accept. Once you click Accept, you will enter into the Grants Portal system. The next section of this presentation, we're going to talk about users who received an invitation email from a recipient or their state, tribe, or territory. The process is very similar. However, instead of self-registering, they have received an email in their inbox which says something to the effect of, welcome, you are invited to register your organization. You're going to go through the same exact steps that we just looked at. So you'll have here's 5 tabs: basic information, contact information, locations, facilities, and complete your access request. So go through that information, go through these tabs, enter your basic information, alternate contact information, any kind of primary location or mailing address if different. For facilities, you want to select the counties where a facility exists. So if you see this prompt, basically what the system is asking you for is to list the location of any facilities affiliated with your organization that will be requesting public assistance. So which counties are they in? And you can go ahead and add the counties as needed or remove. Use the blue plus sign to add, use the red X to remove a county, and then go ahead and click Next. Go ahead and review and verify all your organization information and submit your organization information. Okay, congrats, success again. You'll be contacted once your request has been approved. You will also receive an email confirmation saying you have successfully initiated an organizational account request. You will receive another notification whether the request is approved or rejected. If you do not see an email from support@pagrants.fema.gov, go ahead and check your spam folder to make sure it didn't accidentally get placed there. So now we've covered the 3 different ways that an organization can come into the Grants Portal system. The next step we're going to talk about is specifically requesting public assistance. So this is for existing users who already have accounts set up but who have not yet submitted a request for public assistance. If it has not been approved, you will see a blue ribbon at the top. For example, this one says recipient eligibility determination is pending for EMI City. That means that the recipient, your state or tribe, is still trying to determine whether or not your organization is eligible. So if that happens, you might want to just be patient with your state or tribe or territory. Or, if things are being held up, you can either call the hotline or reach out to your local emergency management agency to check on the status of your request. But when you are ready to go, you will have a yellow ribbon, which will say something to the effect of your parent organization has been assigned as the primary grantee for one or more disasters, and you may submit a request for public assistance to FEMA. Click here to submit an RPA for your organization. You're going to go through each tab as previously displayed and click Next. So, the system is going to ask you for your general information of your organization, your contact information, primary and alternate, your address and location information, primary and mailing, any additional information, limit of 500 characters, and you can submit your request. Your access request has been submitted. You'll be contacted once your request has been approved. Okay, so now you should have a functioning username, password, you've been approved in the system, and you're ready to start actually setting up your organization. So we're going to take a look here at your organization specifically and how to add personnel to your organization. Once inside the system, click on Organizational Profile. You will see multiple ribbons show up at the bottom, demonstrating personnel, locations, counties with facilities, insurance profile, applicant event profiles. For this one, we're looking to add personnel. So go to the Personnel ribbon and click on Manage Personnel. If you have personnel assigned to your organization, you may see a listing with a few names. If you don't, it will be empty. Either way, you're going to look to the top to see the green button which says Create. To add a new person to your organization, click the green plus sign to create a new personnel. The system will ask you what type of personnel would you like to create. Is it a direct employee or a contractor or consultant? A direct employee would be someone directly employed by the applicant or the recipient organization. For this example, we're going to click Direct Employee, and the system will prompt us for some additional information, including general information, contact information, and authentication information, including a username and password. Any information marked with an asterisk, again, is required. Once that information is filled out, click Save. If you would like to build or add a contractor or consultant to have access to the grants portal system for your organization, you would go through that same process by selecting contractor or consultant and fill out the information provided for general information, contact information, contractor information, and authentication information. Next, we're going to talk about assigning roles to personnel. By default, the grants portal system will default to a read-only access for most new users. So, the primary point of contact for your organization, the person who's setting up all of these new account holders, will need to go in and take a look at the roles in the system. You can do that by selecting any personnel and clicking on the magnifying glass next to their name. This will bring up a personnel profile. The second tab down under contact information, you will see a ribbon that says the word roles. Click on roles to open up that tab. Underneath roles, you will see a few different options. You might see system roles, event roles, and then organizational roles for your particular organization. This organization in this example is called Virtual Team City. So we are discussing what roles are applicable to this organization only. So we're going to go to the right of the screen and click the Manage button to manage the roles that you see assigned to this particular person. When you click Manage, you will see a list of specifically what roles each person has. And as I said earlier, the system will generally default to read-only access, which means the personnel, whether it's a contractor or a direct employee, can read the information in the system that has been entered related to your projects, but they cannot edit or make changes. They cannot upload or edit anything in the system. If you want to provide additional roles, you can go through the list on the left, which shows assigned roles with some check boxes. The ones that are unselected, that person does not have. If you see it selected in a blue with a check mark, that means that person has that role. You can check them on or off to add or remove those roles, and you will see some permission previews on the right of the screen detailing what exactly each of those roles allows the user to do in the system. Anything with a green check mark would be accessible to that person with that particular role. Anything with a red X would not be available to that person with a particular role. So go ahead through the list and assign roles as you feel necessary to complete the project within your organization. Once you click Save, you'll be taken back to the user profile, and you will be able to see a full listing of all of the roles that have been previously provided. On this screen, you can also reset a password if needed. So if you have a few people working in the system and they have a password issue, you can go into their profile, click on Send Temporary Password in order to reset their account. Next, we're going to talk about uploading documents. Documentation is the key to success in the FEMA grants development process. So we want to provide you with a way to stay nice and organized with all of your required paperwork and documentation in the system. We start with a quick visual to help you understand that documents in Grants Portal can be uploaded at various levels in the system. At the very top, we have the organizational profile, and those would be for any documents related to the organization as a whole. So this might include documents such as a master policy document, an administrative plan, insurance documents, payroll documents, procurement, etc. The next level down is the applicant event profile. So these would be documents that pertain to the specific event that occurred within your organization. So this might include the request for public assistance or an SF-424. The next level down is the project level. So this would be documents related to specific projects underneath a specific event for your organization. This might include things like photos, timesheets, or invoices. And the most granular level, we have the damage site documentation, and that would be specific to specific damage sites which you are documenting in the system. So it might be photographs of damages, also could be timesheets, invoices for work, repair work, or other work associated with that particular damage site. You'll see in the navigational menu on the left that the documentation trail goes exactly in that same order. So we go from organizational personnel, the organizational profile, to the applicant event profile. A little further down, you will see the actual event and the project and the damages. And you can upload documents at any of these levels. We're going to talk today about specifically uploading documents to the organizational profile. So click on organizational profile and then click to upload. Look down at that document tab, click to upload. You'll be prompted to drag and drop files or click to select a file on your particular computer. You may have to search through your files, make sure you select the appropriate document, and then click to open that document. It will be attached, and you will have the option to edit the name, to remove the document, etc. When you click Edit, the Process Document window will pop up. You will have to categorize your documents. So once you write in the name of the description of the document, you may be prompted to click the category box. And here you'll have to select, is this a general insurance document? Is it an insurance certificate? Is it an insurance policy, insurance settlement, and so on and so forth. So click the appropriate category and then click to save that option. The document will be uploaded to the organization profile. You can go ahead and repeat that if you're uploading additional documents, and then click Upload Pending Document. Okay, so now you've got a few documents in the system which have been uploaded. We're going to talk about how to manage having multiple documents in your organizational profile, or just the option to make any changes if you need to during the process. So to manage your documentation, go right back into your organizational profile and then click Manage on the document ribbon on the bottom of the screen. Here you'll see a listing of any documents which you have previously uploaded. In this particular example, we just have the one document. If you need to pull that document off, you'll click the red X to remove that document. If you need to rename it or perhaps change a date, perhaps make a change to that actual document, you can go ahead and click the Edit button. And here you're going to have the option to go ahead and change the file name, change the description, perhaps change the category if needed, and click to select your changes. You can also remove documents by clicking the red X. You'll be prompted to confirm the deletion. Click if you're sure you want to delete it. And if yes, click yes. Next, we're going to talk about identifying tasks to complete in the grants portal system. Within the system, on the top right-hand corner of the screen, you will see a task bell with a little notification bubble next to it. And that notification bubble might have a number. It may be 11, it might be 3, it might be 0, depending if you have any tasks or notifications pending your review. Go ahead and click on that task bell in order to open up any tasks that are assigned to you specifically. If there are any tasks assigned to you, you will be able to review those tasks by clicking the blue Review button to open that task and read a little bit further to expand your task. You can also open tasks from the navigational menu on the left. So instead of going to that task bell in the top right, you can navigate to the task bar on the left of the screen. You'll see it says My Tasks and then the word tasks underneath it. These are two different ways to get to the same place in the system. Next, we're going to talk about adding tiles to the dashboard. Items on your dashboard are shortcuts, and they help you track information regarding your grant. They will help you to find information quickly to pages or lists that you use frequently. When you first log into the system, you will not have any tiles on your dashboard. If you would like to create a tile for easy or quick reference of information at a later point, you can start by clicking the applicant event profile in order to bring up your specific event and any information associated with it. So go ahead and click on that magnifying glass on the event. And when you see a yellow star on the right, you'll know that you can add this page reference to your tiles. So select the open star to add a tile to your dashboard. Anytime you click that star, you're going to create a new tile on your dashboard. So go ahead and select that open star. The star will become highlighted or filled in completely in yellow. And if you click on the dashboard to return back to your dashboard, you will see that you now have a new tile on your dashboard. You can move that tile around the screen. You can rearrange if you have multiple tiles. You can also delete a tile by hovering over the tile until the X pops up in the top right and click the X to delete. You can add and remove a tile as many times as you'd like. You can add, I believe it's up to 25 tiles to your dashboard. So feel free to customize this dashboard to your needs. The last section that we're going to talk about today is where to go for support. While you're in the Grants Portal system, at any time, there is a question mark in the top right, which is a help icon to help you get to the Support Center. In the Support Center, you're going to see 5 different tabs, all providing different means to get you support in the system. The first tab is the Frequently Asked Question tab. The Frequently Asked Question tab is something new this month, so feel free to click around in there and check out the resources as they are developed. Next tab is Resources. Here you will find instructional tools and resources to assist in day-to-day activities. We have 3 different tabs. The first is Training, Materials, and Tutorials. This one is my particular favorite because it has the webinar schedule for additional webinars, just like the one you're attending today, PowerPoint slides, and video tutorials. Most of that information is created by the headquarters Public Assistance Training section. There are also position assists, job aids, guides, and checklists. Here is a quick look at the sections of information available in training materials and tutorials, including webinars, COVID-19 guidance, project forms, policy and guidance, and additional grants portal resources. The next section of information available to you under resources are position assists. Position assists are basically documents which describe the roles and responsibilities of the various personnel involved in the public assistance grant process. These documents are provided so applicants can better understand the roles and responsibilities of FEMA personnel with whom they interact. Next folder down is the job aids, guides, and checklists. You can see there are 20 resources in this particular folder at this particular time. Here's just a snapshot of a few. One that's particularly important is the Grants Portal User Manual for Applicants. This is a comprehensive document that was created to walk users through the Grants Portal system with screenshots and snippets on how to do basically every functionality in the system. So if you get stuck somewhere, you can always reference this document. In order to download that document, you're going to be prompted to open, save, or download that file. The next tab is Feedback. So if you want to provide feedback on an issue in Grants Portal, or you have a suggestion for how to improve the system, click on the Feedback tab. This is going to provide you with instructions for submitting a change request. Any non-FEMA employees experiencing an issue or have an identified opportunity should email their suggestions to FEMA-PA-grants@fema.dhs.gov. Once you have submitted your change request, the support team will review the submission for completeness and impacts, and the workstream leads will adjudicate the recommendation and implement agreed upon solutions. Important to note that not all change requests will be made immediately or will be approved. Critical changes, those that must be addressed immediately to complete the mission, will be addressed first. The next tab is your account. Here you can view your personnel profile and manage your project subscriptions. This brings up your particular profile page, or you can click to manage your contact information. You can edit your phone number. You can remove old numbers that are no longer functional, or edit or remove an email address. Go ahead and select to enter the new phone number, click Save. One quick tip I can offer is that the system requires that you must have an email address on file at all times. So you won't be able to just delete and have no email address or no way to contact you in the system. So to get around that, we suggest that you add in the new email address that you'd like to replace and then remove the out of date or older email address. And the last tab is the Contact Us tab. As we started the presentation with the phone number for the hotline, 1-866-337-8448 is the number for our national hotline with hours of operation 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. There's also a Puerto Rico hotline with hours of operation 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And the email address to contact that hotline is FEMA-recovery-PA-grants@fema.dhs.gov. You can also access your profile from the main page by clicking the icon next to your name, and you will see a few drop downs, including Sign Out, My Profile, Request Page Assistance, About, and Release Notes. We're going to talk a little bit about requesting page assistance. If you need assistance with a particular page, you can click on the Request Page Assistance option in the drop-down menu next to your name. This will initiate an email for you to send to the Grants Portal support team. In that email, you can either include the screenshot of your current page, which is automatically generated by the system, or you can attach a different screenshot of your choice. Once you click the option to request page assistance, you will see a screen like the one shown here. The first step is to describe the functionality you need help with. Below that, on the left, is a system-generated screenshot that will be included with your email. If you're happy with that screenshot, continue on to the blue Request Page Assistance button. Your second option is to attach a screenshot of your own by dragging and dropping an image or a file, or searching your computer by clicking on the up arrow you'll see on the right, and then click to request for page assistance. Finally, on the profile menu, we also have release notes. Release notes are a great place to get caught up with all of the changes that are happening in our system every so often. Typically, the system is being updated around once a month, but with ongoing disasters, that the frequency has often increased, and sometimes we just don't know how frequently it can be. So if you see something in the system that has changed since the last time you logged in, feel free to read through these release notes to see what functionalities and abilities have changed before you call the hotline. You can also just call us and we can help you troubleshoot that as well. But if you want to read some historical documentation on technical changes in the system, this is a great place to do that. Please, when you are finished with your session, always remember to click Sign Out. That way no one else can access your organizational information or your grants development documents. For specific policy or eligibility questions, please contact your state, tribal, or territorial emergency management agency. We are providing a link below on the slide to find contact information for your local emergency management agencies. In addition, we will post this link in the chat. Additionally, the number for the hotline again is 1-866-337-8448. We thank you so much for attending this presentation of the Grants Portal Applicant Basics, and have a great day.